Good morning everybody, welcome to Yorkshire. Another sunny blue sky day here, a little chilly but it feels like spring is finally on its way. And in today's video I wanted to discuss a subject that's come up quite a lot in recent emails and postings on our SWAT page, and that is the question of, am I doing enough running? Now this is particularly relevant to those of you who are doing long distance, so 70.3 and Ironman, but still the principles hold fast for those of you who are also doing sprint standard. So for those people in SWAT, a lot of them have got their generic training programs. They've got plans for Ironman which involve about 12 to 15 hours a week, and the maximum running volume probably goes up to 3 to 4 hours. And quite a few feel that this isn't enough for them to do well in their Ironman. And now I disagree. Obviously I would. I wrote the program. And here's why I don't think that super high volume is that relevant. The first thing is that most people have a limited amount of time for training. So let's say it is 13 hours a week. They need to divide that time between swimming, biking, running and their strength training. If they're swimming 3 hours a week and they're biking 6 hours a week, which is 50% of the time, that's 9 hours, that leaves them 4 hours for running and for weight training. So that'll probably be an hour in the gym and 3 hours in the week, and that's the maximum volume. If we drop the biking a little bit, we can up the running. And that's the whole point of triathlon. It's about splitting the time up between the three sports, but it's also about compromise. So if we add more running, we have to take away from swimming or cycling or weights, neither of which is sensible. And to be honest, taking away from cycling is probably the worst thing you can do, because that's the key determinant of your eventual race performance. You see, it's important that you get off the bike having ridden strongly but still conserved enough energy to race well. Adding more running training isn't going to be any good for your race performance if you're actually shattered when you get to T2. No amount of run training is going to bring that around. So what you want to do is focus on the biking, focus on being efficient in the swim. Now if we come back to this question about how much running is enough, if you're doing 3 hours, that could be made up of 3 sessions a week divided into maybe 2 45s and a 90, 3 times 1 hour, or 1 2 hour and 2 30 minutes. Either way, there isn't much running in there that goes over 2 hours. 2 hours for most people is probably going to be 20k, 25k, nowhere near 42k. And that's what worries people. But I can prove that consistency outweighs the occasional heroic session, both in terms of fitness and confidence. And if I had one wish for everybody, it's that they can run consistently between now and their event in May, June, July or August. There is some point in that race where you're going to start struggling. It happens to everybody, whether you're winning in Kona or you're doing your first Ironman. There's going to be a point in the run where your legs hurt and you have to use willpower to keep going. It doesn't matter how much training you've got or have done in the lead up. So, if you're asking the question, how much is enough? What's going to satisfy this desire to do more running? One big run once to give you confidence that you can actually do it. Running lots of miles on a regular basis and thereby taking away from the 2 previous things, the 2 things that have got to come before the run. Don't forget also that the more long runs you do, the more fatigued your legs will be. That will have an impact on the sessions that follow in that week, and if they're compromised, that has an impact on your overall fitness. So from my perspective, and I am willing to discuss this if anybody's got any questions, from my perspective, if you can run 3 times a week and you can average around 3 hours before your Ironman, if you can average 2 hours before a half Ironman, I think you'll be doing enough running. The occasional long run of about 2/3 of your race distance will give you more than enough in the tank. And on race day, all sorts of things happen. You get adrenaline, you get that desire, you're tapered, your legs are fresher. Okay? And you're up for it. You're up for the challenge. You're up for a little bit of suffering because you're expecting that. So that's my reasoning for keeping the running volume a bit lower than you might expect, but having higher bike volume. I hope you see the logic in that. As I said, if you want to discuss it, send me an email. and we can chat about it till the cows come home. But for now, that's it. Hopefully the sun's going to keep shining and I'll be back on Friday with more sunshine tips. Thanks for watching. See you later.